2022. We made it. We made it. We're here. It's finally here. And we've toppled over the other side of the mountain. We've been doing hiking. We toppled over the other side of the mountain. And the reason I use the word topple is because my entry into 2022 was definitely not graceful. It was more like my hair blown backwards, my skirt over my head and my mascara down my cheeks. And I kind of just basically got spat out in 2022, like a bit like surfing, actually. You know what I mean? Trying to get on your board and then you get taken out by a wave and you get spat out on the shore. It doesn't matter. You still went forward, right? That's the main thing. So how you traveled is kind of neither here nor there. But yeah, I got spat out in 2022 and, you know, but I'm here. We're here. We made it, you know? And, you know, I just want to talk about, like, you know, the process of that, the intensity of what we went through last year. So much work that we do. I've always said to all the people that I teach, work with, whatever, you know, come into contact with, I say, if you're feeling it, you're clearing it. If you have an awareness on what's really going on, that's awesome. And then you're going through your process. If you're sick, you're feeling it. If you're emotionally unwell, if you're feeling it, you're clearing it, okay? Because it's coming up for the clearing. That's why you're feeling it, because it's there. If it wasn't ready to be cleared, it would still be deeply buried and suppressed, and it's not. So that's kind of what we all went through up until the end of last year. And I also suffered, I remember thinking quite naively and egotistically, I was like, well, I'm usually sick over Christmas, and I'm usually the one that goes down like a sack of spuds, and I didn't, and I haven't. Awesome. Absolutely fine up until Christmas Eve. Woke up on Christmas morning with the most tremendous, powerful, intense upgrade and purge. It was like the most incredible tummy bug, but it wasn't a tummy bug. It was exactly the same intense purge in my physical body. So much pain in my body, so much nausea, so much unwellness. Came in like a freight train. It's exactly the same as what I experienced when I was on the Nile. So I call it the code cracking codes, meaning that those areas or those parts of self that you find difficult to consciously release, you might not even know that they're there, or subconsciously we're really holding on to those parts of self that we just can't seem to let go of. That's where the illness comes in. So it's a gift from God. It really is. It's love from your guides, from your team, from spirit, you know, from your higher self. That like, right, okay, we got to shift this now, and it comes in as illness. So you can just basically lie down and just let Jesus take the wheel, and that's effectively what we had to do. And I wasn't exempt. I went through it on Christmas Day, really, really powerfully. And then, the tipper tapper, it's my dog. In his high heels, walking on the wooden floor. I don't know whether you can hear that. There he is. So that was really, really intense for a lot of us. And I know that some people are still in that sickness phase. Today, I still have a sore throat. So there's still elements of it coming out, you know. But as we move through, I've spoken a lot in my videos about January the 1st. You know, there was going to be a big starburst. And I was actually in the depths of deepest, darkest Africa in the bush. And I felt the energies. I was disconnected from Wi-Fi, phones, everything. I was just surrounded by elephants and zebras, and I was just chill vibes. You know what I mean? So, and I felt those energies very powerfully. And I went through another purge on that January the 1st. So it was all happening. And all of this is just to keep washing, clearing, getting all of this toxin out of your energy system and your physical being. So it took me 3 attempts to do this video. Well, it wasn't attempts. I did 3 amazing video blogs because I wanted to do an energy check. And every time I recorded the video, I was like, that's good. I'll post that tomorrow. And then I woke up and I was like, no. I want to say something different. And then I would record a video. And then I'd listen back to it, and I would just like tap into it, and I'd be like, no, I want to say something different. So I actually recorded 3 videos prior to this, which I've never done before like that. It's never really unfolded like that, you know? So, and that was a powerful message of spirit for this video, which is to tell us all that we are very much in transition still. Not that integration is probably the best word, because we've been through so much, which I've just spoken about. And now, you know, all of that density has been, you know, crashed, smashed, gotten taken care of, got rid of. But then we have this newness, this landing of the 5D frequencies. If you want to give it a label, and if you want to give it a dimension label, frequency label, whatever, let's just call it like, you know, the highest concept of light has now come in. And, you know, and your bodies have received that. So we're now, it's a bit like moving into a new home. When you move into the home, it's chaos, isn't it? Is it not? For the first 2-3 months, you've still got boxes around the houses, but you're kind of living off basics. You've got the mugs in the cupboards. Do you know what I mean? You've got the dining room tables out. Do you know what I mean? The bed's there, basic stuff, but there's still boxes that haven't been unpacked. So now what we're actually doing is we're unpacking the boxes and we're going, right, okay, so yeah, I think I'll put that shelf there. My crystals are going to go there. Going to put my salt lamp over there, hang my drums there, whatever. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of where we're at now. We're in this quiet integration space where we're just looking at where everything must go and how amazing is this new house and how it's renewal, it's rejuvenation, it's restoration. And it's kind of almost like a rehabilitation stage. Not to say that, oh my God, are we going to do more purging over 2022? No, you're not, because the twos are all about creation and co-creation, and it's divine feminine energy. And that's effectively what I'm talking about now. The divine feminine energy is landing in its fullness. And now for me, as we all know, I'm very full of beans all the time, and it's go, go, go energy. Apologies for Bear shouting at people at the fence. He's just doing his thing, you know? So he's just like holding the space, you know? So now it's like, you know, that divine feminine energy is landing, and that's going to take you into a deep place of stillness. Now, I'm a real doer, okay? And then 3 days ago, I got kind of tired and I thought, oh my God, I've lost my mojo. It wasn't that. Once I tapped in, I realized that, I'm going into the stillness and peaceful stage. And I've had to pull back from everything and everyone and really, really be in this space of stillness, because effectively, what is that all about? You're coming into oneness, all right? The divine feminine is now really landing, and you're really embodying that. And then when she comes in, the divine masculine can also come in, right? So there is this integration phase. It's like you've got rid of all the shit you don't need, and now you can actually move into your new home, which is basically, you know, your temple of light in its fullness. And it's exciting, but there's almost like, right, it's just been really chaotic moving boxes from one house to another. Intense. I need to take a breath. And you want to take your time to unpack the boxes. So that's kind of like where we're at. We're in this integration phase, which is really important, because another reason why it's really important is because, you know, a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs, I'm a spiritual entrepreneur. If you're not one and you're watching this video, you are one, you know, because you're all leaders. We're all master creators. So we're all stepping into that power. We are all master creators. So we all have this power and energy and velocity in gifts and abilities and everything like that. That's all coming online. So since last year, I started to bring in a brand new set of guides because I was upgrading, and I have now got my council of light is huge, as is probably yours, you know, but like now I've really connected with these new guides coming in, and now what's happening is I need to be super still so I can actually welcome in their frequency, because with my busyness I was cutting off the connection, the depth of connection, by being too busy. So now I'm being super still, and I'm allowing Shakirat, who's a white lion guide, she's the sister of Sekhmet. I'm really embodying her energy now because she's called to come in more depth, and I can't do that if I'm running around and busying myself with, you know, reading more books, listening to too many podcasts. Even though it's all spiritual, don't get it twisted. Do you know what I mean? That can also come through as distortion and interruption. So you've got to let go of all of that, because you're like, well, I'm just going to meditate. I'm just going to go in, and it becomes very doing in your spiritual practice. So sometimes just sitting and like literally staring at a spot on the ceiling, that's all you have to do. You know, that stillness, whatever way speaks to you, that slowing down. How are you going to do that? How are you going to just come into that quiet space? Now, I work very powerfully and intensely and very well with plant medicine, and I've received guidance, especially from my teachers, like in the earth plane. No more plant medicine right now, because it serves as a distraction, and what that means is, like, you know, or what I can share with you is, you know, anybody would think that would be the perfect thing to do. Go into ceremony now, work with Aya, work with the sacred mushrooms. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I don't need to, but like I would like to. It's a distraction, because I'm thinking I'm doing my spiritual work now. But you know what? Your spiritual work and being fully in service is coming into the wholeness of you. So if there is too much distraction and you pull too many tools into that space, maybe you don't need that right now. Maybe you need to invest more belief that you are enough, and all of these tools need to be pushed out to the outer rims, and then, you know, just come into who you are. Know your frequency without any of the props, the bells, the whistles. Come into that space. But you know, there's no right or wrong. There are many people that may have been in that quiet space that are diving into ceremonies and working with their plant medicine. So it's each for their own, you know. So this is an integration phase. Freya. So even though she's called Freya, this is my Egyptian cat. She basically brings in all of the ancient wisdom, and she works every night with me when we go astral traveling. And she is very, very, so here she is, the cat frequency, you know, so she's probably just coming in and saying, yeah, I agree with everything that's being spoke about, because she is very, well, cats are gods, aren't they? And she knows it. She walks around the house like she owns the place, because she kind of does. So anyway, I digress. But this is a time for integration now, because as we move into February, it's go time. Create, not to say that not to create, not to do things. Creations are really, really coming online now. So let them come online. But what we need to master now is being in that stillness and being in that oneness. That is what will fill your spiritual events. That's what's going to write your book, you know, your spiritual books. That stillness and that real confidence and knowing in spirit and your connection with source, that's what comes primarily, because that's how it works. So, and then the doing, because the doing is the divine masculine, those are the systems in place. So we just need to flip it and reverse it. So without further ado, I don't usually pick cards and do kind of like card readings or anything like that, but today I felt the need to do this. So the first card that I picked is the desert. Okay, so it is there. It is sacred archetypal element, and that is the element of fire. Okay, so when I pick this, when I see desert, okay, desert for me is like, I in the future, in my lifetime, I'm going to hold vision quests and retreats in the desert, because there is a reason for that. Because when you're in the desert, it's nothingness. It can be very, very intense, and it's only those kind of vision quests you should only do maybe not that often, because they're very, very powerful. But when you go into the desert, there is no distraction, because there's nothing there. It's just wide open space. All right, so that basically leaves what? You. There's nothing else to connect with. You can't go, oh, I'm going to talk to the trees, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. There's nothing. There's nothing else except you, okay? So that was the first card that I picked, the desert. So that is where we are right now, just being with yourself, which backs up completely what I was talking about, just being with yourself and just being in oneness, okay? So the second card there is Newt, get it into focus, Newt and Geb. Okay, it's probably showing you it's back to front, but whatever. Wholeness, creation of sacred purpose and divine parents. So different to what we understand it as. Nut is the goddess of the sky, and Geb is the goddess of is the god of the earth. Okay, and they are the parents of Isis, Osiris, Set, and Nephthys. And you know, Nut and Geb, I mean wholeness. So we go into the desert to connect with our oneness. Okay, to understand that is what we are. We're source God light. That is our frequency. Okay, I am that. I am. So once we know this, we then go into Nut and Geb. It's the perfect balance, as above, so below. Wholeness. Okay, that's what's got to come into play now. And then we go into Nekbet, mother of Mut, or Mut. I don't know. I say Mut. Okay, and the alchemist, wisdom keeper, grandmother. You know, she is who we are moving into. That's kind of like the elder wisdom, you know, and I know I'm very much moving into that, because, you know, I'm 45, 46 years old. I'm starting to feel that there's a lot of changes in my goddess energy, meaning I'm premenopausal, you know, I'm going into that elder phase. But it doesn't matter whether you're like a guy and you're going, well, I want to go into menopause. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying we are all moving into that kind of like elder energy, whereby we're more commanding and owning of our soul sovereignty, and in our space where that wisdom comes through on a completely different level. So effectively, as humanity, we have come into this grandmother energy, which is basically, you know, wisdom keeper, as I say. So just to reiterate, the desert, open space, only you, okay, integration. Oh, try again. Nut and Geb. Okay, they're the divine parents. They're as above, so below. So these ones are all about, you know, it says here, creation of sacred purpose. Okay, exactly. What have you come here to do? And then through Nekbet, mother of Mut, she, you know, she's going to just basically show you who you really are, is as in that like ancient divine wisdom, and be really comfortable with it, you know? And then we move through. So it's really, these cards are really powerful. And this isn't just like, oh, that's cool. This is a real power portal that we're moving through right now. So I really encourage, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm the busiest bee ever on this planet. Really encouraging integration and stillness, to let your guides come in their fullness so you can get to know them. Because through the busyness, that's what we're trying to do. Want to connect, meditate. Just be still and allow them to come to you. And then effectively, they are not separate of you. They're activating that blend of frequency within you. So basically you are them, you know what I mean? Because as I say, I am that. I am, you know, so we are all one. We are all one. So that oneness, that's what's coming. That's what Divine Feminine's telling you, is coming into oneness. And until that happens, you will not be able to access all that there is. You know, you're not going to never get there because we're all destined to get there, but it just might take a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I have to share with you today. Quite a lengthy energy check, and yeah, and with that, you know, it's like now it's now time to really step in and claim your soul sovereignty. So what I just want to leave you with is very different to last year and the years prior, whereby, you know, you might go on workshops, or you might go to ceremonies, or go on retreats, or whatever, in wanting to heal, feeling less than. Let me find a teacher, whatever. What I feel very strongly is the game has changed big time. So if you are going to go to those kind of places now, you are going as a whole lot of whole, okay? So you are joining and giving your sacred yes to go out there and meet your tribe. Yes, work with teachers. Yes, receive guidance, but you are receiving that guidance from a place of wholeness, not from a place of, oh, I wish I knew what they knew and I don't know anything, and now I need to learn more, and the cycle never stops. This time, when you when you connect and interact with teachers, with workshops, with books, because we'll always learn. I have a mentor of my own. She's in Rome. I never stop connecting with teachers and receiving, but I'm from a place of wholeness. I know a whole lot of stuff. And I know a whole lot of stuff. Do you know what I mean? And I've embodied all of that. But there are greater teachers out there than me. And I'm like, right, okay, let's connect so they can activate that part of me in frequency, so I can continue with my mission of being whole. And that is really, really important. So now I just want to put on your radar, once again, the Tablets of Light tour in April 2022. We're here. It's like literally weeks, months away, you know? And this tour, this Tablets of Light tour, has never meant so much and as what it does now. And I've always said that this tour that I've created is just kind of like gain momentum. And each time I connect with it and go, wow, this is what we're doing, it turns out to be more and more powerful. It's created its own heartbeat. It has its own consciousness. The Tablets of Light tour is not Marie's tour. It's its own thing in its own right. And even I am honored to go and connect with this being, because that's effectively what it's become since I've made this temple of light, this creation. So when we go to Egypt, it's exactly what I'm talking about. You come from an element of wholeness, not less than, and you are going to Egypt, of which I will facilitate and hold the space for you to do that, because somebody else has done that for me in the past, which is why I can do it for you. And then you're going to go into the temples and you're going to go and collect what it is that you left behind to pick up in this very, very, very specific, poignant moment of evolution, creation in your path. So this is not about going and just learning more stuff and then going back to your mundane job. No. This is different. And if the Tablets of Light tour is calling you for this reason, let's get on a Zoom call. Let's connect. That's why I do these no-cost Zoom calls, so we can actually bring the codes to the forefront, assist you in helping you in stepping into that ownership of who you are. So, and there's no obligation after those calls either. There's no obligation, because that's not what it's about, you know? It's not a hard sell. It's not a bums on seat at all. So you come to that space or tours like this from that place of sovereignty. And then when you do that and you go on a tour like that, my goodness, when you come out of that journey, then it's showtime. Then it's go time. So I'm going to leave you with that. So now all of my energy, and all of my energy videos are now going to be moving just to YouTube. And of course, I'll direct you from Instagram and Facebook and everything like that. But this is where it's all at now. So I invite you to go, if you're looking at the screen on my channel, go to the top right-hand corner. There is a power portal button. So don't you want to go there? Click on the power portal button, and that's a Linktree link. And in that link, I'll always put up the most recent offerings that I'm giving, all of the important stuff, you know, that I feel is really relevant for your pathway of learning right now, or rather remembering. But all of the Egypt tour stuff is in there. And if you want to get on the newsletter, if you go to the egyptcodes.com link there as well, it will take you through to a sign up newsletter, because that's another thing. A lot of my offerings, you know, the anchor activations, which is a free offering right now, is actually something that me and my twin flame partner in crime, Amanda, have created. And it's a lot of fun because it's an activation. And then it takes you through to the Ankh initiation. So I'm not going to explain too much, but all the information is on there and it's all on the website. But you get that through that power portal. And then when you go into the power portal, you sign up for the newsletter, and all that free stuff will be streamed through to you on the newsletter. So be sure to sign up for that, because there's so much stuff that we've got planned for this year, and it all streams through there. But as far as like the big information and the videos go and things like that, it's going to be here on YouTube. And yeah, YouTube's where it's at, man. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now because, like I say, it's been a much longer video than usual, but like it has to be. It's the beginning of 2022. So you have arrived. Welcome. Now let's co-create with each other. Let's get popping. Golden vibes the whole way. Thanks for listening. Much love to you.